Hello everyone, I'm Lowie Verschelden, tracking expert at TAGGRS, and today we will set up a Reddit conversion API. I have several years of tracking expertise, and today we will start by checking off this list. We will start with an introduction. What are the benefits of server-side tracking? There are three main benefits. The first one is page speed. Because we load less JavaScript in the browser, the website will perform faster, will be better, and this will result in a better SEO score. Second one is more control about your data. We can choose what data we send to ad vendors, so it's a better privacy option. And the third one is we will measure more conversions because we will circumvent more ad blockers, because we send the data from our web browser to a subdomain, and there we send the data to our ad vendors, and this will allow us to measure more conversions because it's difficult for ad blockers to block this. So that was the first point. How does Reddit's server-side data flow work? So this is a graph of I forgot the name, but this is a graph that shows you how the data flow works. So we have our browser. Our browser will GTM web container will track events in our browser, and via GA4 tag it will send the data to our server GTM, and from server GTM we will send it to for example Google Analytics. So we put an extra step between the data as usual. Normally it would go from web to GTM to GA4. Now it goes like this, and this will result in better in more measured conversion, more data, etc. Which events can you measure server-side with Reddit? You can measure any event, so e-commerce, lead gen, or custom events. We can basically send any event we want to Reddit. So that was the introduction. We will start now with the setup of Reddit server-side tracking. We will first make a TAGGRS account. So it's easily, you fill in the details. We have done this already to speed up the process. So once you've filled in your details, you will arrive at a page that is looking like this. So it will ask for a name. You can name the TAGGRS container as you wish. A subdomain, usually we take sst dot and then your domain. And then container configuration. I will show you how you can get this code. So this will be your server container. Server, voila. This code, we'll paste it here. Voila. As GTM container, we did it as well. We will have to add our DNS records. So these DNS records should be added to your domain. If you don't know how to do it, your web builder will know how to do it. It's a small task. We already did it because it can take up to 24 hours. One last thing we should do is we should add our subdomain to our server GTM, and that can be done by going to admin, container settings, and add URL. Voila. We can test if this has been set up correctly by going into preview mode. Yes. So if you see this screen, it means you have set up your server GTM container correctly. So we basically have two ways how to set it up. We can either work with TAGGRS templates, or we can configure the tag ourselves. If you prefer to work with the templates, it's really easy. You can just go to our template gallery. We have for different CMS systems templates. I will search one for WordPress because that's the one we are working with. WooCommerce is a plugin. Yes, this one. So we are working with GTM for WordPress, WooCommerce. You can download the JSON files. So it will show 2 files. One for server and one for client. I will put it in my tracking folder. This one and this one. So now how we do it is, you go to your web container and you go to admin, import, client side. Override is for if you want to start with only the new container that we import, or merge is to merge with your current tags. And check what has been imported. Voila, you can see that all tags has been imported. TikTok, Pinterest, Meta, LinkedIn, GA4, Bing, etc. Reddit has not been added, but will be added very shortly. The only things left for you to do is to fill in all the variables. So fill in Facebook pixel ID, GA4 ID, and then also Reddit advertisement ID. But for now it hasn't been added. And for the server container, it's exactly the same. You will just go to admin and import the container, just like that. We will continue with the web container that we already had, and that's this one. So we have already a web container set up with e-commerce events, with custom event as well, when filling in the privacy form, and also with a page view. So I will go into preview mode to show you how this works. So for now we have a view item event, and this view item event has been sent to GA4 because of our measurement ID. We have also a page view as well, and we have a custom event as well. Voila. There is one thing you have to change in your current setup. You have to add to your Google tag, you have to add a server container URL. And your server container URL is your subdomain that you have added before. So it's this one. So this subdomain, also the one you added to your admin panel in server GTM, is the same one you have to add. And this will make sure it doesn't send the events to GA4, but it sends the events to our server container. And I will show you how this looks like. So this is our server container, and I will go into preview mode of our server container. So now we should see a view item event, view item list as well. So you can see, or example here, or GA4 tag has fired view item list, but it doesn't send it to GA4. It sends it to this server container, and here it enters our server container. It has been claimed by the GA4 client and has been modeled. So we have this event data, for example, the items available in our server GTM container. So now we will go over to the actual setup of the tag, now that we have our event data in server GTM. So I will start with a standard one, page visit. So first we will add a new tag in our server GTM. You can take the first one. The second one is less easy to set up. The first one has some good features to, for example, inherit from client and send all data to Reddit, but I will show you this in a bit. Reddit page. First one is page visit. It's a standard event, and an account ID is available here. So you go to Business Manager and Assets, and this is your @account ID. Conversion access token can be created here. Events Manager, Conversion API, Demo YouTube, generate, copy and close, and paste it here. For now we can use test mode to test to not send actual data to Reddit. You can override some event data if you want, but we will not do this at the moment. You can also add extra items if you want. Extra items that will not get inherited from the stream from web to server GTM. You can also add user data if you want, etc. We want this to fire on all pages. So we'll go into preview mode again. So if everything is good, we'll have a page view. And this has been fired correctly. We get a 200 status code. We're validated but not processed. So this means it has been fired correctly. Second one we will do is Ecom events. You can use to inherit from client, and it will just map the events just as Reddit expects it. So you can take a custom event with some events, view item list, add to cart, begin checkout, purchase, and we use regex matching for this. This means our tag will fire on all these events that come into our server GTM. Voila. So now if you go to the shop, you will see this view item has entered, and it has sent a view content event to Reddit, because Reddit expects view content. Even though we sent view item, it will send a view content because it has inherited and modeled it to the right data. Also, the value and product ID, etc., has all been modeled correctly. Let's do this. Add to cart. As well, as you can see, So this goes all automatically. The last one I want to show you is a custom event. It's called privacy form. And we will take a custom event called privacy form. And we will fire it on an event privacy form, because this is the event that we send from our web to our server GTM. We'll go into preview mode again. We'll fire the privacy form. And you can see that this one has fired correctly. Custom event name, privacy form. Voila. So we have seen the three different events, how to set it up. As you can see, it's not a really difficult setup. It's a rather easy one, but if you would be stuck, we have a really good support and you can always contact us on there. Thank you and see you in the next video. Bye bye.